WAVES is what we were called at that time, and it stands for Women Accepted for Voluntary Emergency Service, WAVES. In South Carolina, little town. No, I was born in Lancaster, South Carolina, and this is a time before women were rushed off to the hospital to have babies and things. So my mother had 6 children, all born at home with the midwife in attendance. And we were very poor. That was at the end of the Great Depression. And not only are we the greatest generation, but we were the poorest generation at the end of the World War I. Now, this is going back. So we managed and learned to eat a lot of stuff that we probably wouldn't eat today. But it was a good life. There were 6 kids, and we had fun. And my sister and I both graduated high school. We were the first 2 of our families that even finished high school. I was about 21. Oh, the war was beginning with Europe was well on its way. The 7th of December, we were attacked by the Japanese, and things kind of warmed up a bit. And I saw this notice in the paper that a recruiter from Washington, D.C. would be in Charlotte interviewing any girls who might be interested in going into the military. Same as the boys do, not an auxiliary thing, but the same as the boys would go for the duration of the war. And what the government had decided they'd like to do is to bring these women in, young women who could do the same sort of thing, office work, that a number of enlisted Navy people were doing, that would release those Navy boys to get them out of those offices and soft jobs and send them out to work on board ship and on our bases down in the Pacific and that sort of thing. And we got the same pay, the same type of training. And so that's what I did. The honor flight from Fresno. Boy, we had it like living like queens. This trip for veterans, and especially those old World War II veterans, because we were getting fewer and fewer. And to go back to Washington, D.C., and for 3 or 4 days and so on. And oh boy, we jumped on that. And it was wonderful. It was about the best planned trip. But to go first class and not costing a nickel, couldn't believe it. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. And it too, we'd go from one place to another, and every place you'd go, there were gifts for us. My heavens, somebody, and I don't know yet who made those quilts. Mm-hmm. There was a handmade quilt for each of the veterans who went. When they trundled me in there into that fantastic first class service, and that was completely taken care of. I'm a joiner and a doer, and then that's enough. It's time to and sit down and rest a while.
I know.